It's Week 18 of the National Football League.
And coming up, we'll see Stephon Diggs.
No one's been busier this season as he currently paces the NFL in receptions. It's the Bills and the Dolphins, and it's coming up next.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. It's all about divisional matchups on this final day of the regular season, and we've got a compelling one in store here, as it'll be the Buffalo Bills taking on the Miami Dolphins. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and yes, it's January 7th, but we haven't seen you since New Year's Eve, so we have to say Happy New Year, one and all. And partner, Happy New Year to you. This is it, the conclusion of the 2023 season. Hard to believe, but we got a good one here between division rivals. And you like what the NFL's done here, making Week 18 all-division games.
I think it's one of the more inspired moves by the league because they've made these matchups really count. And typically they mean something, not a lot of coasting as people head towards the playoffs. But I do have to ask, January 7th, is it too late to say it? We're kind of right on the borderline, aren't we, about Happy New Year? Because that always seems to be the subject of debate.
Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
The secret to his game and his success, incredible chemistry with each and every one of the guys who catches passes with it. And not only does he ask them to stay after practice or meet him before practice, he actually demands it because he knows if they have that kind of chemistry built up, they're going to be hard to beat each and every ball game.
Open man is the tight end Troutman. Right away, they rack up 10 yards on their first play from scrimmage.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Tackled on the play by Kyer Elam. You look at this Buffalo defense. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
They forced 7 turnovers.
How many?
7. I mean, think about
7.
that number now. That's supposed to be a lucky number, right? Lucky for one side and lucky for the other.
And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 42. H.A. now up the middle, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, this defense for the Bills, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7.
There he goes, right side. They're all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devon Achane hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins will jump on top of the game's first score here this afternoon.
You know, as a head coach, you can't hide everything from your team. They know that people think that they're not supposed to be on the field with them. So they designed a heck of a game plan, didn't they? Nice fast start, get out after them, and maybe let everyone know that they're...
And now it's blocked. This is going the other way. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, there's a blocked extra point. I remember playing, and we had one of those go against us. I remember our kicker and our holder told the head coach, just relax, coach. Why are you yelling? Don't worry about it. It's just 1 point. Oh, my. Those coaches see a point is gold to them because you never know how it's going to turn out later.
Exactly. That's why I was just going to say first quarter. We'll see if this has any implications as the game goes on.
I still can't believe they told the head coach to relax. Whoa.
Bad move. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And that is incomplete. So, CD, here we are. You look at how well this this offense has played all year, 16-0. Now, in most years, they'd be at home right now enjoying time off for their perfect season, getting ready for the postseason. But this is the decade of the 2020, so that means 17 games are what's needed to get through a perfect season. Would a win here make them an all-timer for you?
It would. It absolutely would. And I realize we're not comparing apples to apples because of the length of regular seasons. But if you think back to the 1972 Dolphins, they were 14-0 in the regular season. 3 wins made them a Super Bowl champion, so they were 17-0 total. Imagine getting through 17 now and then continuing on and winning the Super Bowl. They're an all-timer team already for me.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them. That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and...
Touchdown, Bills! Marquise Goodwin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead. And Tyler Bass on for the extra point attempt. It's up and good, so they go the conservative route instead, and it gets them a 7-6 lead here in the opening quarter. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Devon A-Chain in the offense, ready to go once again. Now, looky there. He's getting close to 1,000. I'm sure he knows where he stands. I bet if the offensive line didn't know, he made sure they knew. I'm closing in, guys. Final week of the season.
You know who really informed the offensive line? The offensive line coach.
Okay.
Because it's a big deal for his unit as well to be able to say, hey, we escorted guys to 1,000 yards or more in a season, just like blocking for a 3,000-yard or 4,000-yard passer. So it's a lot of pride on the line, and his pride is paramount because he wants to be able to join that pantheon of guys that in the NFL ran for 1,000 yards or more in a season.
Pride on the line. I see what you did there.
You like that?
They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Out of the gun on 3rd down. Here's Tua. He is going to find Hill here. Room to maneuver at the 35. He may go. And all the way in for the Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 69 yards. And the Dolphins have retaken the lead. Pretty good response. They had given up the touchdown and the lead, but they struck back.
And I love the way that they just saw it happen, took a quick exhale on the sidelines. So let's go get it back and fast. Let's go ahead and throw the ball downfield and get our own 6 points.
A huge chunk play to regain that lead. And they'll accept that penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Bills as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position #1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes...
And now off to the races, down the right side, inside the 20, down the sideline he goes. Touchdown! Dawson Knox with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Bills strike quickly here to tie up the ball game. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And with it, his guys take the lead here by a point. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, partner. There's no intent here because Von Miller, former NFL Man of the Year award winner, he likes to play the game the right way. But in this case, makes a mistake and gets in just a little bit too late, and that draws the penalty.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Here now, 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. A give up the middle to A-Chain. And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43. You look at this Buffalo defense against the pass, just numbers that they haven't liked. Number 30 in the league right now.
And when you're getting ready to face the #1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what
to and the ball is out. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He topped the 200-yard mark a week ago. You know they're going to have a lot of eyes and hopefully for them bodies on him here in this one.
You got to expect defensively, forget 8 men in the box. 9, 10,
11?
Hey, listen, they're trying to sneak you and me in there to try and slow him down. But I bet his offensive line mates are going to accept that challenge. They really like blocking for a guy who can turn up that kind of yardage.
Down to the 25. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the first down yardage there. 58 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Brandon, after last week, we went over 200 yards. Looks like the hot tub, cold tub, whatever he did, it worked pretty well.
Much chatter about that performance. Rightfully so. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Allen. Well, it's caught. And the Bills are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Kamara will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Tyler Bass out for the Bills field goal from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Bass is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Miami set to take over. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive with a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. Tua going to throw. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 20. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Now, these two teams met earlier in the year in Buffalo with the Bills winning that ball game. So they're looking for the season sweep with a win here in Miami. Allen. And that is incomplete.
Well, they have that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Allen. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. On 4th down, Matt Ariza out to punt for Buffalo. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done.
And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And this will be gathered up in the end zone, and that's a defensive touchdown. Once that ball was loose, the question was, would this be 2 or would it be 6? It's 6. The defense able to pounce on it.
And for the offense, the training didn't really kick in, did it? Once that ball comes loose, you've got to get on it, make sure that you recover it, or make sure you punch it out of the end zone. Anything but give it to the defense to score a touchdown.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 62 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. First down, they go back to A-Chain. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award?
A-Chain hit, and the ball is out. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you...
To a hit, and the ball is out. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Offensively lucky there, able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get
T.Y. Hilton, nobody to beat. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. One of the best punt returns we'll see, 93 yards. And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Partner, the old rules about not fielding punts inside your own 10, those things are way out the window, aren't they?
Yeah, they say put your heels on the 10-yard line, but when you return it, maybe your coach doesn't say anything to you, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of special teams coaches, if they've got a special guy, they'll say, yeah, okay, you can go to the 8. But this one, he really had some guts.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
That's good for Dolphins. First down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
On the hand, and he loses the football a second time. Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Well, remember, he had a fumble earlier in this first half and got saved, but no such saving here. It's a turnover.
Yeah, and as a coach and as a teammate, you're hoping that he learned from the first one. There was a lesson there. But obviously he doesn't have enough focus in order to lose it a second time. That simply can't happen if you're trying to win a game. Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash it.
Stephon Diggs down the left sideline. Touchdown, Bills. Stephon Diggs. 39 yards. And the Bills are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Tyler Bass now for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's finished off by the touchdown by Stephon Diggs. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were in nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
The Bills getting set to go. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Alvin Kamara with career touchdown number 125, moving him into a tie with Walter Payton on the all-time list. And the Bills just continue to roll. Well, it has been the passing game that's really been responsible for much of the scoring so far. But let's not forget about this running attack. They're pretty good, too, as evidenced right there.
And I think, Brandon, the fact that they've thrown the ball so well contributed to that touchdown, because that was a defense that was really keyed up to cover those receivers. All they wanted to do was blanket them. They didn't have enough men in the box to stop the run, and you saw the end result.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half.
Tyler Bass to kick off for Buffalo.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but his shredding defense is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Here's Tua. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
This is taken around the 12. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Now they air it out to start the drive, and it's complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. On play action, Allen. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Goodwin. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 14. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Yeah, boy, Charles, it is no doubt a passing league. We get that, but did you ever think we would see someone pass for 7,000 yards in a season? He just went over that threshold.
Brandon, 7,000 yards means you've had a monster game each and every game of the year. If you throw for 350, that would hurt your average. That means you've made every throw, very few drops by your receivers. You've moved the ball effectively every time out.
Quick throw here to Hilton. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Seven yards left for 2nd down. Ball at the 10.
Caught on a slant. Touchdown. Stephon Diggs with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Bills extend their lead yet again.
Had the option to hand that one off or run it himself, but instead a really easy quick pass.
I like the way they made a decisive decision and got it right to the receiver. One move later, he's in the end zone.
Here's Bass now for the extra point.
And the route is on here in this first half. The drive summary that time, 5 plays.
And it's finished off by the touchdown by Stephon Diggs. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Barrios deciding not to bring it out.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so, and there's your end result right there.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
A 10th carry for Kamara. Ooh, with a juke. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown.
Alvin Kamara with career touchdown number 126, the same number Jim Brown had during his 9-year career. And the Bills are pouring it on. Bass on for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Miami's offense set and ready to go. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few complete.
Now loose football. The ball comes out. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
What's he talking about left?
So now, I think even our referee is confused. The defense accepted the holding penalty, but they just got the ball on the fumble recovery, so that will be negated. That's a tough one to comprehend. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. A short one to the tight end, Troutman. Only able to gain a couple there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts?
It's 4th down.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. This is taken at the 23. Oh, good move by T.Y. Hilton. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's all down to this. Week 18 of the NFL regular season. Lots to be decided, so let's get right to it. We'll start with an AFC East matchup. The New York Jets taking on New England in Foxborough. And this one all tied as they've gone to the intermission. A couple of touchdowns there for Breece Hall. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they lead the visiting Browns in that one at halftime. A couple of touchdown passes there for Joe Burrow. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they've gone to the half, all even at 14 apiece. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Bills offense set to take over to begin quarter number 3. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Well, up big, but still not hesitating to take some shots downfield, CD. I guess they really want to hammer home their dominance in this one.
Yeah, that much is apparent, partner. If they keep completing throws like that, they'll keep that gap awfully wide as they've established already.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
On second down, Kamara. Still going inside the 20. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Alvin Kamara, 55 yards. And the Bills have got it on cruise control.
You get in a second and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Dolphins 13. Tyler Bass to kick off for Buffalo.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, complete. It's Wilson. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's Tua. Going right back to Wilson. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
4 yards. And the Dolphins first down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
A-Chain on the counter. 70 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
On 2nd down, Tua. This throw nearly intercepted. Oh, the big D lineman almost had it. But 3rd down coming up.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
And you can tell just by looking at him that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
This is fielded at the 7. Nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Kamara. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Alert!
And now they'll throw with Allen. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
On the ground, Kamara. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. You got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. On play action, Allen. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Knox. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there.
And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. Alvin Kamara with career touchdown number 128. He's now tied with Marvin Harrison for number 9 on the all-time list.
And the Bills just continue to roll. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. The Dolphins about set to go to work on offense. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Throwing on 2nd and long.
Tua, a short.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. Now this is picked up by the Bills. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
A gritty play there. Put his nose down and got his guys a first.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. and that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
Hunt is in. Touchdown, Bills.
Sometimes offense can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Dolphins offense returning to the field.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well. And that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
On second down, a run by H.A.
And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just heading straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now. He's been terrific so far. This will be fielded at the 17.
A nice return that time of about 14 yards.
And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's Allen to throw it. Flush to his right. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
This will be caught inside the 10. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. To the air, Allen. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal.
He will find Diggs in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Bills look poised to reach 17-0 as they add on to their lead. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
Boy, that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Fields it right around the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
On first down, Tagovailoa. They set up the screen to H.A.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive.
But I think the ball's out. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Ready.
3rd down, here's H.A.
And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be 4th down.
Jason Sanders for the Dolphins field goal.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a look at the big man rumble.
Down the left sideline, and he's going to be out of bounds all the way down at the 2. So close.
And that's the obvious risk you run with a long field goal, lower trajectory, greater chance of having it blocked like it was.
And a lot more pressure on your protection team because, as you noted, longer field goal, it's going to come out a little bit lower. So that means you got to get the...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown.
Alvin Kamara taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bills take the blocked field goal and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Barrios deciding not to bring it out. Miami set to take over. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be second down.
All right.
Tua sets up to pass it.
Throwing for the out route, he finds Wilson. He's got room at the 30.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
Gregory Rousseau able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game, when it's interview time, someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. His whole day, it's been rough. Barring a miraculous comeback, this offense isn't going to win this game, but he's probably going to say what hurt most is the loss.
He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So fourth down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit.
He had his lone attempt blocked earlier. Sanders' kick is good, and he'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit.
So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. Now this defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought.
Now he's loose at the 40. Inside the 20.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown.
Alvin Kamara, 71 yards. And the Bills add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory.
That was a pretty impressive touchdown play. Those broken tackles, those weren't easy to get by.
No, they really weren't. And they've had trouble tackling throughout this ball game. But on this particular play, how about that move? Or I should say moves with an S, because I don't care if you were a great tackler. You had trouble getting him on the ground on that play.
Tyler Bass now for the point after.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6.
Tyler Bass to kick off for Buffalo.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out.
At their own 25-yard line.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of keeping his feet in bounds. They say that's a catch.
And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
From midfield, here's Tua. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Von Miller able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Ready.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. On play action, here's Tua. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
Down several scores and playing behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now, if you're the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback and giving him a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a first down as he stopped at the 48. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on to kick it away. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And it's taken in at the 9. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10.
The football back to the Bills and Stephon Diggs.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games.
There he goes, right side. Running free at the 45. Off to the races, Alvin Kamara.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Here's Bass now for the extra point.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
And good yardage there on 1st down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. On the move past the 40. And finally taken down at the 15. It's a big play there for Miami. 41 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick.
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point up and good by Sanders as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And here come the Bills. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. And Allen is actually going to throw it here. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for Buffalo, they make NFL history with this, their 17th win without a loss, a perfect 17-0 on the regular season. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Miami, this loss will mean they finish the season on the wrong side of 500 at 8-9. And they can take solace in the fact that this team never quit all the way to the end. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.